Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Cheryl and you are at Cheryl's Creative Corner. What I'm going to be doing today is I'm going to make a badge holder. I have these blank badges that retract, and it holds the badge on this end and clips to your belt loop or your uniform shirt or wherever it is that you want to put it. And what we're going to do is we're going to be using this mold that I won from Let's Resin. It was from Michelle's Amazon Live. Michelle is the creator of Glitz and Glitter by Michelle, and she had her first Amazon Live a few weeks ago, and I won. And what I won is a phone holder mold. And this phone holder mold comes with all different kinds of shapes. It has circles, it has some irregular circles, and then it has some different kind of cutouts. Looks like it would be for geodes and other kind of organic type of shapes. This is what I'm going to actually be using today for this. No, actually, I might use the other one. The other one here is, it's a squares, hexagon, hearts, and clouds. I might use the hearts. And what we're going to do is, I think we're going to use the heart, and I'm going to make a little beach scene, or I'm going to try to. And I've already picked out some of the things that I want to put into the cavity there to make the holder. And I'm going to be using my set of different shells and some starfishes, or fish. And I already have mine picked out. I will leave the link to this in the description. And then I'm going to also be using a little bit of play sand. I've got this all set out into a little bowl. And then what I'm going to do with the play sand is I'm going to be mixing in some different color, like some metallics. And I have here some chunky glitter, champagne gold from Let's Resin. It's so pretty. It's like iridescent colors of gold and different sized flakes. And that actually that comes in a pack of, right here, 12 colors. You get 12 different colors. You get sky blue, lawn green, purple opal. That's pretty. You get dark green, green opal, silver opal, blue opal, although that kind of looks like a purplish color. And then you get magic opal, which is just like a clear iridescent, gold opal, violet opal, so these are all opal, could just name the colors, and then pink opal. So yeah, really pretty colors. And again, these are chunky glitters, obviously the opal colors, and you get 12 of them in that box. And then I'm going to be using, I'm not sure if I'm going to do silver or gold, but these are micro beads. They're like super tiny itty bitty little beads. They don't have holes. So I'm going to mix these in with the sand a little bit, just to give the sand some shine and some shimmer. This is the box that the micro beads come in. You get all different kind of colors, 12 colors. I got this off of Amazon. I have micro beads somewhere in my craft stash, and I don't know where they're at right now. I think they're packed away. So I got these on Amazon, and I will link these in the description box. And then for the colors of my beach scene, for the water, I'm going to be using Let's Resin's alcohol ink sets. I got the set of 48. I can show you the box. Alcohol inks, and you get 48. I don't know if you can see that. I don't want to move them too much because I have the colors all in order. You get 48 colors, and what I'm going to be doing is doing a color swatch up here. And then I have all my colors in kind of like a rainbow color, so I know kind of where to look. But oh my gosh, you get beautiful, all different colors. I mean, 48 of them. Wow. Okay, and so here are the shells that I picked out and the little starfish that I'm going to be putting into the cavity. And then I think what I might do is also put in a little charm. I have a bunch of little charms. I might also add in a little bit of crushed crystals from Unicorn Arts, and then also some little clear beads that kind of look like bubbles. These are so cute. I got these at Dollar Tree. So, you know, they do have holes in them, but, you know, you're not going to see that once it's inside the resin. And they'll make really cute bubbles. So anyway, let me go back. The alcohol ink colors that I'm going to be using in this project, I guess I kind of forgot that, is aqua. And that is... that is going to be this middle color here. When I opened the inks, they kind of squirt a little bit, and so I had this over it. So this is kind of a pretty good color swatch. And then I'm going to be using aquamarine, which is this color here. It's kind of like a deep green. And then I'm going to be using azure blue, which is this color here. And then right along like the coast part, you know, where the sand and the clear, I'm going to be using a little bit of Sinker White. I've never used Sinker White before, so I'm hoping that this is what you use for that. These have all been shaken up pretty good. So, all right, I'm going to get on my gloves and get everything ready, and let's get going. Okay, I'm back. Got my gloves on. I got my cups all poured with the clear UV resin from Let's Resin. Practically everything I own is Let's Resin, almost everything. So I will still mention the brands, of course, because some stuff isn't Let's Resin, but this is the clear hard type UV resin. The difference between this and epoxy is this cures in the sunlight or in UV light. And then, so I have the 3 cups already we're going to add the alcohol inks for the colors, and then 1 for the sand. So let me give this a quick little shake. We're going to drop in probably maybe 3 drops. The good thing about using alcohol inks with UV resin is alcohol inks will always be translucent. You'll never get it to be opaque unless you just maybe use a whole bottle of it or something. I'll do 3 drops of each one. Do that to start. And now that's weird that the aquamarine actually looks more blue in this cup. Let's see. Yeah, it kind of looks more bluish compared to how it looked on the paper towel. Kind of. All right, and then give this one a little bit of a shake. And this is the azure blue. I'll do 3 drops. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then I'm going to go ahead and get the sand mixed up in this one. Now, sand obviously isn't very opaque, but as long as you cure it from both sides, you know, and do small layers, if you're doing kind of a thick piece, then that should be okay. But yeah, definitely want to get both sides cured. Let's move these out of the way and give this a nice little stir.
Eagles glide where the sea is wide, greens and blues and resin collide. Bubbles whisper secrets to the shore, hugging shells like they've done before.
And then I think what I'm going to do here is put in, I think I'm going to actually do both silver and gold of these micro beads. But I'm only going to add just a few. I don't want to be overwhelming. You know, maybe it'll can look like some treasures have washed up on shore. Just a teeny tiny bit. And then a tiny little bit of the glitter. Oops, I forgot to open the glitter. Just a tiny little bit. That I definitely don't want. I don't want a whole lot of shimmer like that for the sand.
Starfish winks in the ocean glow, jewels in the sand put on a show. Ocean sparkle dream, oh it's true.
Gonna bring our mold in. So let me start first by going ahead and adding a couple of little flakes here at the base. Just like that. Just enough to make a nice little shine. I don't know if you can see that. So, and now we're going to go ahead and add the sand.
Golden glimmer in the silver hue. Catch a wave, let it pull you through. Everything shines, the world's brand new.
What I'm going to do too is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to actually add a little tiny bit of clear resin inside this shell, because when I put it in and I cure it, what's going to happen is the heat's going to draw all the bubbles out. So let me pour just a tiny little bit of UV resin in there, let it soak in. I'm trying to keep my fingers as clean as possible. So I'm going to set this right there to kind of just soak in a little bit, and then I'll cure that. The charm will go on in a little bit. I don't know, should do this? I mean, everybody notices starfish from their bottom ends. Wonder if I should do it though from the top, facing the front. I'll do the front. And then I'll probably do the same thing with this one. Fill a little bit of resin in there. It looks like there's something moving in there. No way. That can't be. Grab something thin to poke. Or am I just seeing things? I think I'm just seeing things. That would be really sad. Really, really sad if there was something still alive in these little things. I actually feel kind of bad. I don't know if all these little guys are bred and so there would be little embellishments. If anybody knows, let me know. If that's the case, I don't know if I could keep on using that and support that kind of. I'm going to do that here too, because I know there was some other pieces that I made a while back, and after I cured the starfish, bubbles came out from the center. So I want to make sure that, so you can see a couple little bubbles actually popped up just now. So I'm going to seal this in. So that's always a good idea. I mean, if you're going to use a lot of shells and stuff, obviously that's going to take a long time to do, but I'm only using these three. I think I'm going to take a quick little torch to this, and torch to this, and to this. Not torch, but a lighter. And then I'm going to use my little mini torch here to cure these. I'm blocking it off so that I don't cure my colors over here. See, another good thing, while I'm letting the sand sit, the bubbles that are encapsulated within all the sand and stuff is making its way to the top. So that helps to kind of just let it degas itself. Let's give the sand a quick little first. Pop some of the bubbles that are already working its way up. Obviously, you're not going to get every bubble out of the sand because you don't have that much time to work. I'm actually not even sure how the sinker white's going to work. Let me experiment and get right back with you. So what I did was I dropped a little bit of UV resin in this cavity and then dropped a tiny little drop of the white. and it just spread out. And I think what this Sinker White does is I think it makes cells, because it was like starting to kind of expand. So what I'm doing here is I'm going to take some of this and I'm going to kind of run it along right along the edge of the sand, you know, to give it the foam that comes to the shore, if you're familiar with beaches.
Like sugar, glitter in disguise.
All right, now since I've got the water area right here, now I'm gonna go ahead and stick my shells in. And actually, one thing I do need to do too is you want to kind of create a little bit of a layer between the shells and the base of the mold.
Waves paint the edges where the shoreline lies. Tiny charms hold the whole world small. A badge of wonder, it carries it all. Spin it around, let the light dance.
Let's do a quick little burst. Pop any bubbles. Let me draw any bubbles out. And then I'm going to do a quick little cure. What I'm using here is my Let's Resin wireless UV light. It's a nice, strong, pretty powerful light for being a wireless light. So I use this to kind of do a little bit of a flash cure, I guess, if you want to say, like a quick cure. And then I'll use my Let's Resin dual-sided UV lamp, which is amazing. I mean, that really gets the job done both sides at the same time. I highly recommend that tool. For sure. This one, maybe not, you know, you don't have to have this one right away. Let's Resin's products aren't outrageously priced, which is nice. Okay, so now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create a little bit more of a layer of sand over here. And since I have extra, I was thinking I might use up the rest of this.
A pocket of magic, a second chance. The ocean's heart in a tiny frame, forever shining, never the same. Ocean sparkle dream, oh it's true. Golden glimmer in the silver hue. Catch a wave, let it pull you through. Everything shines, the world's brand new.
Now what do? We will take we're going to take the lightest color first and kind of just do a real small little thin layer.
Ocean sparkle dream, oh it's true. Golden glimmer in the silver hue. Catch a wave, let it pull you through. Everything shines, the world's brand new.
And then I have the cute little turtle charm. Isn't he cute? He's so cute. I'm gonna put him in so that it looks like he's swimming. Has anybody ever scuba dived before? I was certified in 2003? 2002, 2003. I actually worked for the headquarters of Scuba Schools International, so I was able to get certified to scuba dive for free. And we did our open water dive at the crater in Utah, Homestead Crater. That was beautiful. And then I did my deep dive in the Atlantic off of West Palm Beach, Florida. And I was able to see sea turtles and pufferfish. That was so amazing. That should be good for right now. Let's do a quick little check. Yep, solid. I just hope there's no bubbles. And actually it looks like there's something right in here. So I'll have to see if I can shove some resin in there. looks like it's, I actually should have turned this. I could try to fix it after it's demolded. I don't know, we'll see. I did go ahead and I emptied out the rest of my the light blue and the green, and made some layers here. So let me go ahead and try to remove bubbles. And then I need to cure around in a circle, you know, so it'll cure around again. All right, we're gonna go ahead and give this a cure, and we'll be right back. Alrighty. So what we're gonna do now is, yeah, there, and a big bubble happened underneath the turtle here. Hopefully I didn't ruin the charm, so I'll have to figure that out. What we're gonna do now is I have the Let's Resin white UV resin, and we're going to go ahead and back this thing. Actually, I think I'm gonna do a layer of clear to get everything covered, because this is really thick and I don't want to use a whole lot of white resin, and plus I don't want it to encapsulate around the turtle. So we're gonna just do some clear.
Turtles glide where the sea is wide, greens and blues in resin collide. Bubbles whisper secrets to the shore, hugging shells like they've done before. Starfish winks in the ocean glow, jewels in the sand put on a show. Ocean sparkle, dream, oh it's true, golden glimmer in the silver hue. Catch a wave, let it pull.
So that looks good. I don't see any bubbles that surfaced up. So now what we're gonna do is we're going to take a thin layer of the UV clear, and we're gonna put it on the back. I think what I'm gonna do, I'm actually gonna do one at a time because I need these spaces to put the things on. So I think we'll do the heart first. No, we'll do this one first. I think I should do, and you wanna try to make sure that you keep the bottom part with where the line comes out. You don't want the resin to go inside of that hole. So that's why we're gonna do a thin layer, cure it, and then we can add and like push resin around it for added support. So yeah, I'm gonna do the hexagon one first, and I'm gonna do a little bit of here in the middle and do some here in the middle here, because when you do this it's gonna squish out. It's fine. All right, turn this over, set it in here gently, and then I should have actually done this around the other way. And then we're going to turn on I'm moving it around also to kind of discourage bubbles. So we're going to go ahead and get this set. Try to keep it in the center as much as possible, and then once you feel that it starts to tighten up, you could probably let it go. But you really don't want to move it around too much while it's trying to cure, for the reasons of, no bubbles. I mean, not bubbles, ripples, or any kind of warping. All right, that seems to be holding now. I'm going to turn it. Let it cure underneath. Once it's done, you can also stick it back underneath the dual-sided light, and that way it'll still cure from underneath too, because that's important. Light won't cure. Like if I were to just do the light on the top here, it's not gonna cure through. It's what's under the resin that's underneath it is not gonna ever cure, because the light needs to go through it. And this does have a little bit of solid in the middle, but for around the outside, yeah. I mean, as long as it's sealed in, you know, in the resin that's stuck in there is encased in wet resin. I mean, unless if it ever cracks, then that might not be a good thing. So, okay, so that wasn't too bad actually. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put just a tiny little bit of clear resin right here at the bottom just to create a smooth finish. I'm just going to kind of push some resin around to make it nice and smooth. It'll help to eliminate the need for trimming and stuff like that, which, I mean, that's going to be a give me. I don't know why I keep closing my lamp. I'm always using it. So I'm going to ask, who is your favorite creator on YouTube? I know we probably have multiple. I guess I can't really single out one person, but the one that got me started on doing resin again, I used to do this back in 2019, and then I kind of quit for a little bit, and now I'm back doing this. And Michelle from Glitz and Glitter kind of sparked the interest of getting this started again. So I came across one of her videos and started watching it, and that's kind of where it all started right there, was from Michelle. And then another person that I like watching is, I love watching Tammy from Epoxy Me That. She's quite the inspiration too.
Everything shines, the world's brand new. Sand soft like sugar, glitter in disguise. Waves paint the edges where the shoreline lies. Tiny charms hold the whole world small. A badge of wonder, it carries it all. Spin it around, let the light dance. A pocket of magic, a second chance. The ocean's heart in a tiny frame, forever shining, never the same. Ocean sparkle, dream, oh it's true. Gold and glimmer in the silver hue. Catch a wave, let it pull you through. Everything shines, the world's brand new.
Okay, for the moment of truth, let's get this popped out of the mold, and we will look at the other one first, since that was a extra. Did you peek? All right, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Oh, that's not too bad. Uh-oh. That's funny. The shell, oh my gosh. The shell has a hole in the opening right there. I should have filled it with resin. I didn't do that, but we can do that when I top coat. But that's cute. It's not as bad as I thought. Not bad. I don't really see any bubbles here. That turned out cute for just a little. I know I might not top coat this one right now because since it's kind of plain, I might do some, like a sticker or something right here with a phrase or some sort of a quote or like a word of encouragement or something like that. And then I'll top coat that, probably off camera. All right, here we go with the turtle. Oh, this one makes me nervous. Hey, not bad. Not bad. I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, his head is still poked up through here. And that was actually what was going on, so that should be easy to fill. So that I'll fill this up. I can do that right now. That way you can see how to fix these. But no bubbles along the side except for the fake bubbles. All right, let's do some top coating. Let me get that set up and I'll be right back. Okay, to do a top coat on this, what you'll need to do is, because unless you can find a nice something to set this in to keep it even, because obviously you can't leave it sit like here to do an even top coat because it's going to fall over. So what I do is I pull this line out a little bit and take some clear tape and just kind of stick it down and around to hold it out of the way, and then that way I can set it inside this cup. nice and evenly, just like that. And we'll go ahead and do that with this one. And I am going to fix this one on camera too. Now this one actually will probably fall into the cup, so I'll need a smaller cup. Actually might be able to use one of these. Yep. All right, set that off the side. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do though is I'm going to take, all right, I haven't mixed anything in with this yet. I just want to be careful that I don't, because I'm going to do a little bit, tiny little bit of the crushed crystal to do the top coat. Just a tiny little bit, because I think it would be pretty for the whole thing to sparkle. So I'm going to experiment first on this one, on filling in the hole. So let's get that all filled in. Just a thin layer, because you don't want it to be too high up, so you want to have room to dome and to make the top coat. And kind of squishy in there. This actually filled in nicely, so I'm going to go ahead and cure this, and I'm still just going to do a top coat off camera, but all right, that's good for now. I want to work on the turtle with y'all and get that top coated. So first, what we're going to do is do the same thing. Fill in this little hole. Hopefully it all fills in nicely. It's dripping inside. I mean, I know for sure that there was resin underneath his head. You know, it's strange. Resin does what resin wants, and most of the time there's nothing we can do about it. Kind of squishing it around in here, making sure that there's no other little bubbles in there. I'm actually surprised that that came out nicely like it did. Yeah, I wouldn't even recommend putting in the beads for bubbles, because now that I'm looking at it, you can see the hole that was in the bead, and then this one was up, facing up, and then you can see down into the bead. So I wouldn't recommend it unless fill those beads in with resin. I did that on one of my other videos where I filled in the bead with resin and cured it so that way nothing would come out. I mean, it's still kind of cute. It's a bubble within a bubble. There we go. I'm going to give this a quick little cure here. All right. That's good enough. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this little container. I use this to use it for backing. And normally, you know, you would take it and just pour the resin on top. But seeing that I want to add the tiny little smidge of the crushed crystal, I'm pouring it in here because we need to mix it. Be careful. I mean, I have a fan on. This stuff blows everywhere. Gosh, I hope that this isn't even too much. I mean, I just want it to be so subtle, because I didn't use it very much on when I was doing one of my other pieces, and oh my gosh, it was like almost a solid layer of crushed crystal. Now, you know what? This really looks like there's a lot, so I'm going to put some more resin in here. I just want subtle sparkle. I can put this in a black jars that I can put in, so that way I can save my resin, you know, UV resin, and not worry about it getting exposed to UV lights. Or just put it in a dark place with like a cover on top to prevent dust from going in. This should be good. So during some of my filming, I've learned another valuable lesson. I don't know if many of you know, but this lamp that I'm using right now, it's a nice little lamp. I don't think it gives me a whole lot of light that I would like. It's set on the brightest setting. I was like, okay, I know I have another desk lamp around here from Light, which is a really nice, really good company, good brand. So I went and I got it, set it up, you know, because I had it in my craft room, and while I'm messing around with the resin, it's getting blobby, and I was like, what in the world is going on? This isn't UV light. Well, it's fluorescent tubes. I mean, this lamp is like, I don't know, I bought it in 2013, 2014. It was on sale, but it's a fluorescent tube, and I didn't know that fluorescent lights will cure UV resin. Not like a UV light, but it will start curing it, because what I was trying to mess with was getting so blobby, and I couldn't figure it out. So yeah, so there's some useless trivia.
Ocean greens and resin blues, bubbles kiss and shells like morning Sand will whisper secrets, soft and true. Starfish winks, it's just for you. Turtles glide in ocean's view. Sparkle shining golden hue. That will charm the world anew. All the magic lives in you. Silver streaks and sandy waves, jewels that light the sun engraves. Underwater dreams behave, like a treasure chest we crave. Turtles glide in ocean's view. Sparkle shining golden hue. That will charm the world anew. All the magic lives in you. Captured moments sealed in time. Oceans are the batch divine.
What did y'all think? What did you think of these cute little holders, badge holders? They'd make great gifts, you know, for anybody who requires a badge or ID on their person. What did that do? I mean, what do you think? Are we able to see this clearly? I hope. It's got a nice little subtle thing of sparkle. Little turtles there in the water. Oh, he's got a little ripple around his head here, but that's all right. I'm not going to worry about it. At least not now. It's nice and smooth around the edges, and the shells are kind of tucked into the sand. The white really didn't show through too much, but that's okay. And then I'll just do a little bit of trimming here on the back to get rid of, you know, any rough edges. I'll probably just do a light little file. What do you think of this one for an extra? All right, so what did you think of the projects today? I hope you enjoyed them. I'm gonna stick this one in here so it gets its 5 minutes of cure. I want to thank you for staying and watching the video, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a lot. Obviously, you know, like I said, I'm just getting started, so I would love a great boost of some people to, you know, start watching my videos. I am going to come up with fresh ideas of my own, at least try to. I can, you know, get some ideas from other people and then put a twist on it and you know, make it something different, you know, but with the inspiration from somebody else. I mean, that's what we're all about, is inspiration for each other. You know, ideas, you know, people can suggest ideas, you know, to try. I'll try to go out of my comfort zone the best I can. But yeah, so again, thank you all for being here, for putting up with me, listening to my stories. Hopefully I wasn't boring. And then please like, share, and obviously subscribe. Let's get my channel going and have a lot of fun. That's my whole goal, is to just have fun with everybody. Well, thank you so much. You all have a great rest of your day, and I will post pictures at the end of the video. Thank you again, everybody. You have a great rest of your day, and stay blessed. Bye.
Ocean greens and resin blues. Bubbles kiss and shells like morning dew. Sand will whisper secrets, soft and true. Starfish winks, it's just for you.